So a new Apex Legends patch released, and this one seems to increase the resolution of the PlayStation 5 version. And if we look, indeed the old patch looks way less sharp, so it seems like it was a success, right? Well, the differences aren't always this big, because in this one here, the differences are very small. You can see that the new patch is maybe a tiny bit sharper, but it's not a complete revelation or anything. However, in this image here, the difference is massive. If you look at the Canon especially, but look at the frame rate difference. Yikes. They clearly are now prioritizing resolution over frame rate, which in my opinion is the right decision, but it shows that something had to give to get this resolution increase. In the final image, the difference is once again a bit smaller. But now let's compare it against PC again, here at 1440p on the lowest settings. And what you will notice is that somehow the lowest settings on PC have more detail than the PS5 version. So are they using below PC settings? Because here again, the vines and plants are massively reduced on PlayStation 5. Which might make you wonder, how is the performance so weird even though they use below PC's lowest settings? Well, I wondered that myself as well, until I noticed something, and maybe you noticed it too already. Here, in this image, I will point it out, but it's very obvious here. Notice the shadows of the trees on the left. That's right, the PlayStation version uses the high sun shadow setting, while on PC I'm using the low sun shadow setting. This is weird. Why reduce the details like plants and the textures on the house while keeping the sun shadows on the high setting? Usually, shadow detail is the first thing you should reduce because it gives you a massive performance boost. But Respawn decided to keep the sun shadows on high, which in my opinion is a big mistake. Just to confirm here this close-up shot, we once again see more detail on PC, but lower shadows. And if I increase the sun shadow setting to high, you will instantly notice that it matches the PlayStation setting. And to showcase the difference it can make between low and high sun shadows, look at this scene over here, where it's the only difference between these two images. A 34 FPS increase in performance with sun shadows on low, but that's not where it ends. Oh no, there is another setting that is somehow inexplicably still turned on. Here I show ambient occlusion off on PC. Now, I increase this to the ambient occlusion low setting. You instantly see the shading around the box. The difference, however, between the low, medium and high settings is almost zero. It's really hard to tell. So I'm not sure which setting the consoles use, but it is indeed confirmed here that they use ambient occlusion. And both consoles do. Xbox and PS5. And to once again showcase the frame rate difference ambient occlusion can make. First, the high setting, then medium, then low, and finally, off. The frame rate difference between the high setting and off is almost 50 FPS. The difference between the low setting and off is almost 20 FPS. And the visual difference in this spot is almost zero. So to me, it's kinda mind-boggling why they have sun shadows set to high and ambient occlusion set to at least low, maybe even higher than that. In my opinion, both of these settings should be on the lowest, so low sun shadow and ambient occlusion off. This is a performance mode after all. No one cares how the game looks. It's supposed to give you better performance. Reducing the shadow detail and ambient occlusion will not only increase the frame rate, but also the image clarity, because the dynamic resolution will most likely scale way higher in GPU-limited scenarios. It is kinda mind-boggling that these two settings are enabled in a graphics mode that is supposed to be giving the player the best performance possible. They went as far as to reduce the detail level below the PC's lowest setting, but kept the sun shadows too high and ambient occlusion on. That's just weird in my opinion. So yeah, in my opinion, they should turn these down. How do you guys think about this? In my opinion, it's pretty obvious. So yeah, bye.